Now, first of all, thank you so much guys, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video and welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. Just in case you're here for the first time or maybe you're currently watching this video and you haven't subscribed, I'm just requesting you to kindly support me by subscribing, and also please don't forget to press the notification bell so that every time I upload a video here, YouTube will automatically send you the notification. And to my returning subscribers, to my loyal viewers, and to my supporters, I also want to appreciate you so much for your continued support. So feel very much welcome on this channel, and I don't take your support for granted. Now let us go straight into our critical analysis for today without wasting much time. And the late Professor George Magoha, the former CS for Education, was finally laid to rest yesterday, and let me take this opportunity to officially deliver my message of condolences to his family and friends and relatives. May he rest in peace. In my considered opinion, ladies and gentlemen, is that Professor George Magoha was the only CS in Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's regime who was a performer. And the reason as to why I'm saying this is that there's no day, there's no any given opportunity whereby Professor George Magoha played politics. You know, that is why I'm saying that he was a performer. Other CS appointed by the former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta were actively playing politics. Even the former CS for Health, Mutahi Kagwe, was a performer. He was a good person. You know, he delivered on how he handled his work was perfect. It was excellent until his last days in the office, whereby he decided to join politics and he decided to declare his support for the Azimio Alliance leader, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. But yesterday, during the funeral service of the late Professor George Magoha, President William Samoei Ruto's communication team had already given us a hint that William Samoei Ruto will be expected to attend the funeral service. And that is why, if you noticed how Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga attended that ceremony, they entered in style. They were very much prepared. They were very much organized on how they will tackle President William Samoei Ruto if he attends that event. So let me just show you on the screen as we talk. Let me just show you on the screen how Raila Amolo Odinga entered that event. He entered like a king. You know, he was holding a spear just to represent, to signify that he is actually a king in that region, and you can clearly tell all this through his attire. But remember that if William Samoei Ruto had attended that event also, it would be an advantage to Raila Amolo Odinga, considering the fact that that place, the Nyanza region, is one of the main Raila Odinga strongholds. And remember that it was Raila Odinga's bedroom, and he has huge following, massive supporters there. Therefore, it will be an embarrassment to William Samoei Ruto. And also, on Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's side, remember that Uhuru Kenyatta was the one who had appointed Professor George Magoha to become the CS for Education. And that is why you saw they are showing him much respect, and he is being loved so much in the Luo Nyanza region. And remember that also Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has been supporting Raila Amolo Odinga as his Azimio Alliance leader. You know, in the previous 2022 general election, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta played an important role in Raila Amolo Odinga's presidential bid, and that is why he's being loved so much in the Luo Nyanza region. But on William Samoei Ruto's side, when he took over as the president of the Republic of Kenya, he kicked out Professor George Magoha and he appointed CS Ezekiel Machogu to take over from that education docket. So that is why it will be a disadvantage for William Samoei Ruto's side. But in this video today, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to give you the reason as to why William Samoei Ruto had to skip attending that funeral service in the last minute, and why, in my considered opinion, that William Samoei Ruto, by making that decision of skipping that event, was actually a good idea, and he outsmarted. Let me just explain to you how he outsmarted both Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga. But just a reminder, if you are still watching this video, please support me by subscribing to this channel. So In my considered opinion, ladies and gentlemen, if William Samoei Ruto had attended that event, that funeral service would have turned into a political event. Remember that the people who attended there, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Raila Amolo Odinga, are William Samoei Ruto's political competitors, and they are William Samoei Ruto's political enemies. So that event would have turned into a political event, and it would have not have showed it would have not portrayed a good picture to the family of the late Professor George Magoha. Remember that the family of Professor George Magoha are still grieving. They buried recently the brother of Professor George Magoha recently, and here is a case whereby they have a funeral of Professor George Magoha. So it would have portrayed it would have became so disrespectful for these leaders, for William Samoei Ruto. And we all saw how politics played out. These are politicians, and politicians can turn to be leaders, but politics must play along in each and every event. It does not matter if it's a funeral service, if it's a Thanksgiving service, if it's a Harambee service, they must play politics. And that is why you had their speeches. You heard how Raila Odinga was telling his supporters that, just wait, I will give you my political direction that you will follow. You heard how Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta said it very clear publicly that Raila Amolo Odinga is still his party leader, and he has not defected from the Azimio La Umoja alliance. It would have become so bad, messy politically. And the second reason is because William Samoei Ruto avoided or boycotted this event because he wanted to avoid embarrassment. Remember that Raila Amolo Odinga and William Samoei Ruto are currently two different people, two different politicians. Raila Odinga, on his side, he is a politician, and that is why he has been actively participating in the politics of this country, whereby he has been holding several demonstrations and calling it Baraza, the People's Baraza. And on the other side, William Samoei Ruto's side, he is a leader. In fact, William Samoei Ruto is a national leader, and it must be a symbol of the national unity. And that is why he should not play politics at any given time, because politics brings division, and he must be a symbol of the national unity. So Raila Amolo Odinga would have taken that advantage, whereby it was his bedroom, and also William Samoei Ruto cannot play politics, so he would have taken that advantage to embarrass William Samoei Ruto badly. Even if you have been noticing William Samoei Ruto recently, how he has been carrying out himself, he has been completely avoiding to play politics. Whenever he stands to speak, he must talk about the development projects each and every time. Whenever he wants to talk about politics, he usually uses his close allies to talk on behalf of him. Like, for example, if we want to say something political, he must use somebody like Rigathi Gachagua to warn Raila Odinga, or to warn the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. That is how William Samoei Ruto has been operating, because he is actually a national leader. So he wanted to avoid this embarrassment. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Raila Odinga would have taken that advantage to embarrass him, or that opportunity to embarrass him during that event. And that reason is that William Samoei Ruto used the CS Ezekiel Machogu. The reason as to why William Samoei Ruto sent CS Ezekiel Machogu to represent him during that event, and why CS Machogu was very, very important to represent William Samoei Ruto's side, is because, first of all, CS Machogu is the current CS for education, and he took over from Professor George Magoha, and Professor George Magoha had worked with him for a few days before handing the duties to him. So that is the first reason. And the second reason, remember that CS Ezekiel Machogu comes from the larger Nyanza region, and because of the good relationship between the Luos and the Kisis, that is why CS Machogu can be heard. The people of the Luo Nyanza region can hear whatever CS Machogu was talking about, and that is why that event did not turn to be political, because at least because of the good relationship between the Luos and the Kisis, CS Machogu carried out his speech very, very well, and that event went on very nicely. And the fourth and the last reason, ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Ruto wanted to avoid to try and portray himself as somebody who is still competing with Raila Odinga politically. We all know immediately the announcement of the how Professor George Magoha his announcement of his death announcement was brought to the public. Immediately the news were all over. We all saw what happened. Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta were very keen to take over each and every program that will be taken, that will undertake in the funeral service. On the other hand, because William Samoei Ruto is the President of the Republic of Kenya, according to the Constitution, that burial ceremony or that funeral service would have been taken over by the government or by the state so that they can send Professor George Magoha peacefully, during his funeral. But it was like Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga are competing against William Samoei Ruto in that event. So William Samoei Ruto wanted also to avoid that event, to avoid completely portraying himself as somebody who is still competing with Raila Odinga politically. So I don't know what you think. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section below. Otherwise, that was my analysis for today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until next time, my name is Json. Thank you.